Hello and welcome to the brand new Big Magazine. I'm Lee Bannister, and over the next hour we'll be bringing you a relaxed look at Birmingham, Solihull, the Black Country and beyond. Yes, welcome to a new and improved show, following in the good old tradition of the Big Centre magazine and the Midland Weekend. Now in a few moments I'll be sitting down with Natalie to see what's up on this week's community notice board. Then Natalie will have the first in a new series of Charity Focus, in which we find out more about a local charity, and this week she's looking at the YMCA's Open Door project. A little later on, Des and Gary will be with us to look at what's on Saturday, and then Carl will take time out from the big picture to let us know what's happening in the world of film. Tom Wilkinson from Doorstep History will drop in to give us a history lesson on what happened this week over the years, and Johnny Doom will take his unique look at the music world. Thomas Russon will take a stroll through the literary world, and then I'll take a look into the good old Postbag. You can't keep me out of it. So plenty of looks into all sorts of places, and that's all to come within the pages of Saturday's Big Magazine.
It's time to have a look at what's happening in your community as we take a brand new look at our brand new community notice board. Hi Lee, and welcome.
Hello.
All right, don't forget it is free, but give us plenty of notice and you could be telling people all across the area what's going on near you.
Yes, if you want to get in touch, then we'll tell you how in a few minutes' time.
Let's have a look at some of the events coming up at Tipton Library now. And the local artist Graham Colborne is returning for another talk on Monday the 18th of April at 1 p.m.
Yeah, next there's an NCMP Healthy Lifestyle support session on the 11th and 25th of April, and that's for parents who are interested in making lifestyle changes.
There's advice and support with healthy eating and physical activity. The monthly reading group are meeting again on Saturday the 16th of April from 11:30 till 12:30 p.m.
And then on Thursday the 14th of April, it's the local history morning, and this time it's Would You Believe It with Chris Smith, and he'll be asking, can you tell the true story from the fake one, or can you?
I'm not sure. We hear there are prizes on offer and admission is free, but you'll just need to reserve your place.
Now there's a fun day on Saturday the 23rd of April called For Shakespeare and St George, and it's celebrating the 400th anniversary of Shakespeare's death and St George's Day.
400 years.
400 years, yeah.
And we're still learning about him in school.
That seemed like 5 minutes.
That's an achievement, Shakespeare. Well done.
Go Shakespeare.
There'll be community stalls, homemade refreshments and the unveiling of a special Tipton Slasher photograph too.
Oh yes, and finally for Tipton Library for now, it's String Along. And now these are free musical sessions for young children with their very own music man Ian.
Sing along to songs played on the ukulele and join in with the toe tapping fun that starts Friday the 15th of April, 9:30 till 10:15 a.m.
Yeah, as we said, it's all at Tipton Library, and you can find out more by calling 0121 557 1796, or you can email tipton_library@sandwell.gov.uk and tell them you heard about it on Big Centre.
Now, next, Billy Spakeman and his Armour and Chain show present Woodman at the Pump House on Saturday the 16th of April at the Langley Pump House.
Yep, it's the fourth show presented by Billy, and all performers support the Woodman Folk Club at Ashwood Mariner. For more information on that, contact b.dakin@aston.ac.uk or text 07514 824 845.
You're getting all the emails and numbers again.
It's my turn again, isn't it?
Now, every Monday night at the Saddlers Club in Bescott, there is a sequence dance night from 8:30 p.m. till 11 p.m. If you're interested, I'm interested.
Are you? Do you go sequence dancing?
Well, no, but we need to bring them back, I think. They're a dying breed.
Do you dance?
Yes. What's that supposed to mean?
No, I'm terrible. I've got 2 left feet, is what I mean.
Now, if you're interested, then they'd like you to pop along and support local places to dance, because they say that there are too many places closing down for people to have a good social night out. My point exactly.
It is, it's true.
So you might see me and Lee there.
Now, there's a PS on the message that they sent to us, and they say, loving the exercise in the morning. That's Get Up and Go. Nice one. So that's every Monday night from 8:30 at the Saddlers Club.
Glyn Hefferman has been in touch to say, hello, my friend Richard Evans of Ravenswood Hill in Coles Hill is doing a 4-day charity bicycle ride from Crystal Palace in London to Paris.
Wow.
Let's just let this sink in. He's driving from Crystal Palace in London to Paris.
Cycling all the way.
In France, all the way, in July, in the aid of Mary Ann Evans Hospice.
Excellent.
It will be a 305-mile cycle, beginning with 95 miles to Dover, then a couple of 2-day 75-mile journeys, just a couple of 75-mile journeys, finishing with a 60-mile cycle into Paris itself.
Oh, he's going to be exhausted.
Bit of shopping then.
Well, yeah, why not? Richard's wife Kim runs the charity shop on Coles Hill High Street, so this event is very much a family affair. So if you'd like to donate to the hospice or find out about more what they do, where their shops are, then pop along to their website, which is maryannevans.org.uk.
As part of the 400th anniversary of the death of Shakespeare in April, Great Bridge Library is hosting a to bake or not to bake.
That is the question.
Don't bake. Don't do it, women.
What?
Go out and don't bake.
Are you suggesting that all the men should bake instead?
Well, are you suggesting all the women should to bake?
Not at all, no.
Should we move on?
I bake.
Could get sensitive.
True.
Okay, it's hosting a to bake or not to bake sale at the library on Saturday the 16th of April from 10:30am till 12:30pm.
Oh yes, they're inviting everyone to bake or bring a cake and sell it off to raise funds for the Friends of the Library Group to provide activities for children and young people. You see, all in a good cause, so
all
it's
in
okay.
good cause, yeah. For more info, the road to hell is paved with good intention. For more information, why not have a look at www.sanwell.gov.uk/libraries.
Oh yes. Next, Reclaim Photography West Midlands has announced details of their eagerly awaited first international photography street exhibition, Reclaim the Streets, which will take place on Saturday the 16th of April from 10am till 3pm at the Black Country Living Museum in Dudley, Grand Central in Birmingham, Harrison Learning Centre, Lighthouse Media Centre and the Manda Centre in Wolverhampton.
The idea is that the street exhibition will reclaim selected public spaces to promote the very best in art photography. Prints donated from the regional and international amateur, professional and student photographers will be displayed alongside internationally established and world-renowned exhibiting art photographers, so they could be next to Mario Testino.
Quite possibly, yeah. Plus, to accompany the street events, a unique joint gallery exhibition hosted by the Long Gallery at the University of Wolverhampton and Wolverhampton's Art Gallery will offer the public a unique opportunity to see a selection of photographs by UK and internationally exhibiting artists from Croatia, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Japan, Sweden and the USA.
The exhibition will showcase a selection of framed, limited edition and signed handprints from the UK and internationally renowned and emerging art photographers, including fine art, landscape, mixed media, photojournalism, portraiture and social documentary photography.
Wow. Now, prints from both the street events and gallery exhibition will be auctioned to raise funds for regional charity Ladies Fighting Breast Cancer. The auction will take place on Wednesday the 27th of April at the Wolverhampton School of Art Lecture Theatre.
Free theatre auction tickets are available and bids can also be placed in advance online at www.reclaimphotographywestmidlands.com. Just look for the online bid form.
Yeah, it's all in a good cause. Now, the auction will offer the public the chance to bid on blind lots, which will include at least one signed or unique print from regional and international artists, in addition to photographs donated by the general public.
Thank you, general public. The auction will provide photography collectors the opportunity to bid for these unique framed prints and support international art photographers and emerging artists of the future.
So, Reclaim the Streets. The street exhibition, again, is on Saturday the 16th of April at the Black Country Living Museum, Grand Central Birmingham and Harrison Learning Centre, Lighthouse Media Centre and Manda Centre in Wolverhampton. The joint gallery exhibition is on between Monday the 11th and Wednesday the 27th of April at the Long Gallery within the Wolverhampton School of Art at the University of Wolverhampton, as well as the Wolverhampton Art Gallery.
There's a lot going on in Wolverhampton.
It is.
Now, there's a new Chinese calligraphy exhibition happening in Sutton Coldfield on Saturday the 16th of April. There'll be an interactive session with workshops to show people how to write Chinese characters and a presentation from famous UK-based Chinese calligrapher Qi Zhang.
Now he'll be showcasing his artwork and providing a brief explanation on the history of Chinese calligraphy. So if you're interested, you can see some of his work online at chicalligraphy.blogspot.co.uk.
The keynote speaker is Councillor Alex Yip, who is the first Chinese councillor to be elected into Birmingham City Council, representing his Sutton Coldfield Newhall ward.
The calligraphy exhibition represents Chinese art and culture being explored by the local community and bridging the gap between the West and the East. It's been hosted by Sutton Coldfield Scouts Group, the Birmingham Chinese Community Centre and the British Chinese Project.
I used to be in the Scouts.
Did you?
Girl Guides, yeah.
I was going to say, Scouts?
Well, yeah, Girl Guides, it was fun. So, once again, it's happening on Saturday the 16th of April at Philip Baker Hall Scouts Community Centre on Dewey Road.
Yes.
On Dewey Road in Wold Green, Sutton Coldfield. That's a very quirky name.
I like that, yeah. So there you go, that's what's coming up on our community notice board this week.
Now, would you like to tell people across the area what's going on near you? It really is free, but you'll need to let us know in plenty of time.
Yeah. Now you can email us via the Postbag, and that is postbag@bigcentre.tv. Or you can send us a message on social media, just look us up anywhere, Big Centre TV. That's right.
Or if you're like me and you prefer the old-fashioned way, you can pop a letter in the post to the community notice board, Big Centre, 14A, Lower Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL.
Thanks, Natalie, and we'll be back with more at the same time next week. OK, now it's time for our brand new feature, Charity Focus. And if you know of a local charity that would benefit from some good local exposure on the telly, then get in touch. And I'll tell you how to do that a little later in the show. Natalie.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Charity Focus. Now, the one that we are focusing on today is the YMCA Open Door project, and joining me now is Rachel Taylor. Rachel, thank you so much for being here today. I'm really excited to speak about the YMCA Open Door because I know about the fantastic things that you do. So before we start, just give everyone a little bit of a background on what it is you do within the project.
Okay, well, I'm the supported lodgings manager, and what the project does is when young people, 16 and 17-year-olds, are referred to the YMCA for accommodation, rather than placing them in one of our hostels, we place them with a host family in the community.
Okay, so regarding the YMCA Open Door, just tell us a little bit more about how it started and the effect that it has on youth homelessness within the community.
Okay, well, it was set up because when young people were being referred and placed in our hostel, we realised that they actually needed more support. We feel that the best place for a young person is usually with their own family, but when, for whatever reason, that can't happen, we felt it was better for them to be with another family in a more normal setting than in a hostel sort of environment. So we recruit families across the Black Country and we place 16 and 17-year-olds with them in their spare room.
Fantastic. So how does the YMCA Open Door project work in terms of placing the youth with families? Do the families sort of reach out to you, or do you have to recruit them? Do young people sort of ask where they want to live? How does that whole...
It's a bit of both. I mean, young people sometimes have very specific ideas about the areas they want to live in. We have to remind them sometimes that it's not an estate agent's, but we have hosts right across the Black Country now. We have almost 100. At the moment, we have about 70 or 80 young people placed, but we're desperately looking for new hosts so we can accommodate young people close to the places where they go to college and close to their family and friends if need be as well.
And how does that recruitment process work? How do you choose who you're going to have on the Open Door project?
Well, as a project, we really value life experience, so we're not looking for any specific qualifications or anything like that. The process is relatively short. They have to have a DBS check. They also have to go through a sort of training process.
You're looking for new hosts again now.
Yes.
Any campaigns happening? Any amount of people that you need to step up and offer their spare rooms?
Well, we haven't set ourselves a specific target, but we are desperately looking for more people. I mean, we have at times had to turn young people away because we haven't got hosts for them.
Right.
We particularly need people who can do short-term placements as well as long-term. So we have a service called Emergency Night Stop.
Right.
And that literally is what it says on the tin.
It's when people are on the street and
But potentially they may be on the street, or they
Yeah.
perhaps have been sofa surfing, or they could end up on the street if they didn't find a safe place.
It's a very short notice.
It is, yeah. They literally come in on the day. They need somewhere that night to stay,
Right.
and rather than sending them to a B&B, where again, because of their vulnerability, they're kind of really it's a high risk thing for them. So
Yes.
we'd much rather put them with a safe host.
They
in the
need
community.
security and stability and reassurance.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
So we're looking for people not necessarily that can do long term, although we do need that as well. But sometimes I think people are reluctant to come forward because they think, I don't want to commit to 2 years because I've perhaps got my own child that comes home from university in the summer, or I have family come and stay. If you just tell us, well, we're available for this period of time, that's great as well. So we'd really take advantage of that.
That's fantastic. Rachel, best of luck
Thank
with
you.
everything, I hope. And if you do want to get in touch with the YMCA Open Door Project, we've got some information on the bottom of the screen now, so you can visit those. And thank you very much, Rachel.
Thank you, Natalie.
Cheers, thank you.
Thanks, Natalie. And if you'd like to be part of our charity focus and get some much needed free publicity for a local charity, just put them in touch with us. Stay tuned for the details a little later on in the show. Now, still to come after the break, Des and Gary's What's On for Saturday. And then Carl will be here from the big picture with a look at the film news. I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back. It's the Big Magazine with you for a Saturday here on Big Centre. Still to come, Carl will be here with the film news. Tom Wilkinson will be looking back at this week in history. Johnny Doom will offer his view of the music world. Thomas Russon will settle down with a good book, and I'll be delving into the postbag. That's all later on in the show. But first, here they are. Big Centre's answer to, one of the double acts. It's Des and Gary with a look at what's on for Saturday.
Down at the Bull Ring, the Birmingham Race for Life launches its 2016 event, so if there are any ladies in pink out there, then get down and register. There's plenty of events, and it's all in aid of the great charity Cancer Research UK. This event's been going for years. It's grown and grown and grown, and it is fantastic, and there's thousands and thousands upon ladies that are walking, talking, pushing prams, running, all around.
Yeah, well, I was checking the website out, and there's about 6 or 7 different categories now. You know, if you don't run and you just want to walk around, you can do. But and there's a mucky one, a muddy one, or something.
There's a muddy one, yeah. They do it. I live not too far from Cofton Park, and they do it there. And you see all the ladies, because they get thousands there. Even though we live a 5-minute walk away, they park outside the houses and coming back covered in mud, and then realising, how do I get into my brand new sports car with cream leather seats and I'm covered in mud? Didn't think about that one.
We'll knock on your door and see if you can use the shower.
They can use my shower anytime.
Now, the Lichfield Garrick Theatre presents The Enduring Romance of Cathy and Heathcliff. It's a dark romantic comedy, and it's set in the 1950s, and it's written by Rebecca Newman. Now, Rebecca contacted us by email. And if you have an event or gig that you want us to mention, then our address is whatson@bigcentre.tv. All you've got to do is give us plenty of notice, and we'll do our best to include you.
We will.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Birmingham Hoop Fest is an entire day of learning how to do loads of things with a hoop. A hoopla. Can you do a hoopla?
No.
I can. I used to be very good at it. My mum taught me in those days when I wasn't quite sure. so a pair of football boots and a ballet skirt, just covering all bases. And you do the old hoop, woo, like that. And then I was all right. I played football. No, it was good. It's good fun and a good way to keep fit and trim. It really is. And it's harder than it looks.
Yeah, I know that.
It really that's good. So that'd be great. That's good. It's based at Circus Mash HQ, the old church hall, which is Vicarage Road in Kings Heath in Brum, and it's now a renovated working circus training venue. That's great. I saw them pushing a couple of elements through the door the other day. Muck everywhere.
Gigs tonight at the Wheat Sheaf here in Walsall. The Knicks are officially launching their new EP Temporal, with special guests Brother the Wolf, A Born Disaster and Sciatica.
You've had that, haven't you? Your age. You've still got it. I can smell the deep heat from it.
The Hare and Hounds Blues Club has Bedrock Bullets, which starts at 5 o'clock. And over in Stourbridge at Katie Fitzgerald's, Vix and her Mischiefs are launching their EP Music and Mischief. And Stuart Wolfenden is at the Palace Theatre in Redditch. And here's Stuart with his video, I've Seen It All.
I bet he hasn't.
I've seen it all. I've seen it all. to waste. Competition's tough, don't let nobody take your place. After all, I know this world much better than before. Mom and Dad should know. Mom and Dad should know. If you're corrupt, you better blame them all the way. They taught you all you know, taught you all you know. You fool around, you never fail to treat me like a joke. Men be killing men, obesity be killing them. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've watched them fall. I've watched them fall. I've watched them fall. I watched them fall. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I've seen it all. I watched them fall. I watched them fall. I watched them fall. I watched them fall. I've seen it all.
Well, now it's time to join Carl Jones from our movie show, The Big Picture. He's in the auditorium for a look at this week's film news.
Now, do you think you know your fairy stories? Well, think again, because a film called The Huntsman, Winter's War, puts an entirely new spin on the world of Snow White and her dwarves. Have a look at this.
You will train. You will become my elite. You will become my huntsman.
If it's the Snow White tale you're looking for, discover the story that came before.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?
You are my queen, but your sister holds a baby who will grow to be more beautiful than you. But should any harm come to the child, your sister's power will be unleashed.
With the mirror's dark magic, I'll rule the world.
That mirror is an evil and dangerous thing. We have to destroy it.
Together.
This is what I trained you for.
So, have you got a plan?
Aye.
Is that any good?
No. Oh, this is the worst plan ever.
The game's not finished. I'm stronger than all of you, little sister.
Shall we find out?
Kneel before me. And then I'll tear your heart out. Are you ready, Huntsman?
Aye.
So, in essence, the story is this. Evil Queen Ravenna, played by Charlize Theron, has upset her young sister, played by Emily Blunt. And Emily Blunt's turned rogue, freezing half the kingdom and banning any of her subjects from falling in love. Now, much of the story revolves around a quest for people trying to get their hands on the magic mirror, mirror on the wall, which has been stolen by goblins. Chris Hemsworth plays a hero huntsman who's among those on the case. The only problem for him is that he's fallen out with the Ice Queen and doesn't really know who else he can trust. There's all sorts of celebrity faces popping up. You'll spot Sheridan Smith and Rob Brydon in there as two dwarves, and actually they're probably the best thing about this movie, which, if I'm honest, I thought was a bit of a mess. Now, I usually love Emily Blunt, but she seemed bored to tears in this film. And then there's Chris Hemsworth's Scottish accent, which was about as convincing as Gerard Butler is as an American. Now then, There's lots of other choices at the West Midlands box office if you don't like the sound of the Winter's War. And we'll start by a countdown at the top 10. At number 10 is the third chapter of the Divergent series, That's Allegiant. At number 9, we have the creepy horror The Boy. Want to avoid that one if you're frightened of sinister dolls. At number 8, Gerard Butler is causing chaos still in the capital in the action sequel London Has Fallen, which comes hot on the heels of Olympus Has Fallen. At number 7, and this one's quite interesting, showing just how popular opera is becoming at our cinemas right now, the Met Opera's performance of Madame Butterfly is at number 7 in our list. At number 6 is the sci-fi thriller 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now that's a film which, the less you know about it, the more you'll probably enjoy it. At number 5, 14 years after the original, we have My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. Not quite as good as the first one, but still doing well in the charts. At number 4 is Kung Fu Panda 3, which for my money is the best in the series so far. Into the top 3, and at 3 we've got Eddie the Eagle, a real feel-good film with Taron Egerton and Hugh Jackman, the true story of Eddie Edwards and his amazing Winter Olympics journey. At 2 we have the brilliant Disney Pixar animation Zootropolis, and this is a film that's got laughs for the whole family, visually and also in the script itself. And still at number 1 for a third week, while the critics might be split on what they make of it, but still topping the charts, is Batman vs Superman.
Is a day for truth. The world needs to know what happened and to know what he stands for. That kind of power is very dangerous.
Don't forget, if you like your movies, there's plenty more where this came from. We have just extended Big Centre TV's weekly film show from half an hour into 1 whole hour. Catch me every Friday at 10 o'clock for The Big Picture, which is a mix of reviews of the big cinema movies, a look at what's happening on the small screen and in the streaming world, and also, of course, interviews with local movie makers, actors and technicians, and there are plenty of them about. If you think you'd like a place on the Big Picture sofa, well, send me an email. The address is movies@bigcentre.tv, and as I said, we'll be there Fridays at 10 o'clock for a whole hour every week through the summer.
Thanks, Carl. And as he said, look out for the all-new Big Picture. It's a full hour about the world of movies and TV. OK, we're going to take a short break now, but when we come back, Tom Wilkinson will be here with his look back over the week in history. Johnny Doom from Amped will let us into his world of music. And Thomas Russon will take a look at what's good to read at the moment. And as ever, of course, I'll be delving into the Big Centre Postbag too. So I'll see you in a few minutes. Welcome back to the all-new Big Centre magazine with me, Lee Bannister. It's your weekend digest right from Big Centre. Still to come, Johnny Doom with his look at the music scene. Thomas Russon will be suggesting a good read, and I'll be trying on the postbag for size. But before all that, let's look back over the past week in history with Doorstep History's Tom Wilkinson.
Now, the past week has seen lots of famous events throughout recorded history, both locally and across the globe. Let's have a look at some of them now. So, last Monday, April the 4th, in 1581, Francis Drake was knighted for circumnavigating the globe. In 1873, the Kennel Club was founded, which is the oldest and first official registry of purebred dogs in the world. In 1949, 12 nations signed the North Atlantic Treaty, creating the North Atlantic Treaty Organisation, or to you and me, NATO. In 1964, the Beatles occupied the top 5 positions on the Billboard Hot chart, in the Billboard Hot 100 pop chart. In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated by James Earl Ray at a motel in Memphis, Tennessee. Tuesday, April the 5th, 1614 in Virginia, Native American Pocahontas marries English colonist John Rolfe, whose name was changed in the Disney film to John Smith. for some reason. In 1621, the Mayflower set sail from Plymouth, Massachusetts on a return trip to England. That, of course, being the famous ship that carried the Pilgrims across to America in the first place. Now, Wednesday, April the 6th, in 1199, King Richard I of England died from an infection following the removal of an arrow from his shoulder. In 1453, Mehmed II begins his siege of Constantinople, which is modern-day Istanbul, which fell on May the 29th, and is also recognised as the unofficial fall of the Roman Empire. 1896 in Athens, the opening of the first modern Olympic Games is celebrated, and that's 1,500 years after the original Games were banned by the Roman Emperor Theodosius I. In 1917, World War I, the United States declares war on Germany, but under President Woodrow Wilson. Of course, it's better late than never, as usual with the Americans. 1947, the first Tony Awards are presented for theatrical achievement. Now, Thursday, April the 7th, in 1141, Empress Matilda became the first female ruler of England, adopting the title Lady of the English. In 1933, prohibition in the United States is repealed for beer of no more than 3.2% alcohol. 1939, World War II, Italy invaded Albania. 1945, World War II again, the Japanese battleship Yamato, the largest battleship ever constructed, was sunk by American planes 200 miles north of Okinawa. 1948, the World Health Organization was established by the United Nations. In 2003, United States troops captured Baghdad, leading to the fall of Saddam Hussein's regime 2 days later. Friday, April the 8th. In 1993, the Republic of Macedonia joined the United Nations. 2005, over 4 million people attended the funeral of the late Pope John Paul II. And Saturday, which is April the 9th, which is today, 1413, Henry V was crowned King of England. In 1585, the expedition organised by Sir Walter Raleigh departs England for Roanoke Island, which is now North Carolina, to establish the Roanoke colony. In 1916, World War I, the Battle of Verdun, the German forces launched their third offensive of the battle. In 1957, the Suez Canal in Egypt was cleared and opened for shipping. In 1969, the first British Concorde 002 made its maiden flight from Filton to RAF Fairford, which of course the Concorde, in case you don't remember, was the fastest way to travel between Europe and the United States. 1991 now, and Georgia declared independence from the Soviet Union as that was breaking apart. 2005, the controversial marriage between Charles, Prince of Wales, and Camilla Parker Bowles was a civil ceremony held in Windsor's Guildhall. On to the births now, and April the 4th. In 1946, Dave Hill, the rather eccentric guitarist for Slade. 1965, the Hellraiser, Robert Downey Jr., who most people will probably know him as Iron Man. 1979 saw the birth of Heath Ledger, the Australian actor who famously played his last role as the Joker in Batman. April the 6th now, and that's Wednesday, was the birth of Raphael, the Italian painter and architect. 1938, we saw Paul Daniels, the English magician, who tragically has died recently. April 7th, 1770, William Wordsworth, the English poet, who died in 1850. 1939 saw the birth of David Frost, the English journalist and game show host, who died in 2013, who's probably most remembered for his grueling interview with Richard Nixon. 1978, Duncan James, English singer and songwriter and actor as well, from Blue, All Rise. April the 8th now, Friday. 1902, Andrew Irvine, the English mountaineer and explorer who tragically died in 1924 at the age of 22 on Mount Everest, and his body is still to this day not being recovered. 1963, Julian Lennon, English singer, songwriter, actor and photographer, and also son of the late John Lennon. And Saturday, which is today, April 9th, 1954, Dennis Quaid. 1954 again, Ian Duncan Smith, former Secretary of State for Work and Pensions. 1977, Gerard Way, the American singer-songwriter for My Chemical Romance. 1978, Rachel Stevens, the English singer and songwriter, dancer, actress from S Club 7.
Cheers, Tom. And he'll be looking ahead to next week's historical happenings here on the Big Magazine tomorrow. OK, let's head over to Johnny Doom's pad now to see what's happening in the music world.
Hi, I'm Johnny Doom from Amped, and these are going to be my top gigs for next week. If you want something odd, jazzy, a little bit all over the place, but with some lovely female vocals, go and see Rolo Tomasi. They're going to be at the Sunflower Lounge on the 11th of April. Indie rockers The View, you might know their track The Same Jeans On for 5 days now, is it 4 days now? They're going to be at the O2 Academy. That is the 12th of April. It'll be fun. And Retro Rockers Wolf Mother, they're going to be at the O2 Academy. That is the 16th of April. Don't forget, you can see my show Amped here on Big Centre TV at 10 p.m. on Wednesday and 11 o'clock Fridays if you like it heavy and rocky. But first, here's Wolf Mother, a very entertaining video. This is the title track from their album Victorious. Enjoy.
Cheers, Johnny. Now, do you like a good read? Well, with his suggestions and observations, here's Tom.
Hello, thanks Lee, and welcome to the Big Centre Bookshelf, a weekly look at what is popular in the world of fiction, whether on paper, or your Kindle, or even my personal favourite, audiobooks. I'm Thomas Russon, and each week I'll be reviewing what I've been reading over the previous week and has grabbed my attention in the media. And I'll also bring you the current top 5 or 10 of fiction sales. Now, back at the start of the year, the Sci-Fi Channel premiered a new show based on the Expanse series by James S.A. Corey, a pen name for the team of Daniel Abraham and Ty Frank. Now, I hadn't heard of it before, but the series had me completely hooked from the start, and I quickly found my way to the first book in the series, called Leviathan Wakes. First published in 2012, it's set a couple of hundred years in the future. The book is a roaring space opera, the likes of which you've never seen, or read for that matter, before. Doing away with the usual smattering of super tech that borders on magic, it gives us a glimpse into an occasionally uncomfortable, alarmingly realistic view of the future, in which mankind is spread out into our own solar system, becoming increasingly divided as we go. Earth is sinking under the weight of a population of 30 billion people. Mars is an independent military power, and out in the asteroid belt, the Outer Planets Alliance is torn between peaceful political action and violent revolutionaries. Leviathan Wakes follows 2 point-of-view characters, Jim Holden, the idealistic executive officer of the ice-hauling spaceship Canterbury and his crew, and Josephus Miller, a hard-bitten, washed-up, borderline alcoholic detective born and raised on Ceres, a real dwarf planet that is out in the asteroid belt. Miller is given a job by his captain to track down the daughter of a powerful businessman and return her to Earth by any means necessary, which gives him a reason to live again. From there, we go on a solar system spanning adventure that is staggering in its scale, without losing track of the human stories that are distinct but intertwined. Leviathan Wakes is the first book in the Expanse series, which is now up to 5 books and 4 short stories, with much, much more to come. I'm myself burning through the series at the moment, listening to them on audiobook. I'm currently on book 4, which is called Kibble or Burn, and I'm completely hooked, in no small part thanks to some of the best voice acting I've ever heard. I'm not normally one for hard sci-fi or space opera, mainly because I don't like how authors get around inconvenient things like physics by using implausible magic-like technology. But there's almost none of that to be found here, and it's a stronger and more absorbing story for it. Read it, you will love it, even if you don't normally like sci-fi. I challenge you not to fall in love with the characters, especially my favourite as a member of Holden's crew, the mysterious Amos. Leviathan Wakes and the rest of the Expanse series is published by Orbit, available in paperback, EPUB and audiobook editions. Now that I've got all that fanboy out of my system, let's have a look at the fiction chart for this week. Number 1 is Make Me by Lee Child, book 20, number 20 of the Jack Reacher series, which follows an American ex-military policeman as he travels around the home country he's never really known. Published by Bantam and available in hardback, paperback, digital and audiobook formats from £4.99. Number 2 is That Girl from Nowhere by Dorothy Coomson. It tells the story of Clemency Smith, adopted as a baby with the only connection to her birth mother being a cardboard box hand-decorated with butterflies. It's published by Century and available from £3.99 in EPUB, paperback, hardback and audiobook formats. Number 3 is Pretending to Dance by Diane Chamberlain. It's a shocking and sometimes heartbreaking tale about family secrets, lies and troubled relationships. Pretending to Dance is published and available in hardback, paperback and EPUB editions from £3.79. Number 4, Black Eyed Susans by Julia Haberlin is the story of Tessa, a 17-year-old dubbed a Black Eye Susan by the media for her being the only survivor of a vicious serial killer. Her testimony put him behind bars, or so she thought. Now she's not so sure. Published by Penguin and available in Kindle, hardcover, paperback editions for £3, prices starting from £3.85. And number 5 is Finders Keepers by Stephen King, one of my favourite authors. The eagerly anticipated sequel to Mr. Mercedes from 2014 and continues the adventures of retired police detective Bill Hodges and his 2 unlikely hero companions. This is the next book on my own list and I plan on reviewing it in next week's edition. It's currently available in the paperback edition is published by Hodder and is also available in EPUB, hardback and audiobook starting from £3.85. So that's a book chart for this week. If you have any recommendations, things you desperately need me to read or want me to review, or even if you want to weigh in with a review of your own, please get in touch with us. Lee, coming up in a moment, will be hit back with us with the instructions of how to contact us after the postbag. See you soon.
Cheers, Tom. He's right. Time now to see what you've been saying to us. It's time for the postbag. Let's see what we've got this week. Well, as you might imagine, our new logo and look has generated plenty of interest and comments too. And from what I've seen, it's been overwhelmingly positive. Of course, nothing is always to everyone's taste, but as you can probably tell, we're working as hard as we can to be as good as we can possibly be. Now, we're not the BBC or ITV, but we've got plenty of good friends in both. But the point is that we are here for you. We're your big centre station, OK? So let's have a look at some of the comments we've received. And Sophie Sullivan has said, I'm liking the new logo, guys. New logo, new show maybe? She goes on to say, I'm glad things are on the move. I know you guys, how hard you guys work. The Big Centre team is like a little family. Keep it up, guys. I want to see the changes. Oh, thank you, Sophie. Now, Sophie was actually with us on Work Experience last year, and it looks like we've made a good impression. And she's right. We're moving in the right direction. On the flip side, Dennis Dengit says, oh no, I've enjoyed Big Centre's first year. Hope it's not going to get spoiled. Bring back the Wellies and Crossroads Check-In. Even as a show for Crossroads fans. Another couple of shows I enjoyed were the Ad Show and Picture Box, and is David Hamilton going to make any more chat shows? Well, of course, we know we can't always please everyone, but thanks for the message, Dennis. It's good to see that you're still watching us. Now, as for your points, well, I'm actually really glad you enjoyed Crossroads Check-In, but I would say that, wouldn't I, because it was my show. But I must be honest, it's a show that only really worked when we were actually showing Crossroads. So if we should ever show Crossroads again, then I'm sure we'll do something similar. And I'll pass what you say about the Wellies on to Captain Tongo and GJ. They're just in the office across from where I'm sitting at the moment. And if you know who they are, then they're actually still on Big Centre every day. In fact, if you were watching carefully, you'll have seen them earlier on this very show. The ad show and picture box may return one day, you never know. In fact, one of the cashiers in the supermarket near to our studios actually stopped me a couple of months ago, and they said that they liked the ad show. And finally, David Hamilton. Well, I worked on those original David Hamilton chat shows, and David's a lovely fella. He's obviously very busy with everything else he does at the moment, but although there aren't any plans at present, we've always said we never rule anything out, so stay tuned. Back to the new look, and Junior Coke says, great logo, great different graphics, and different colours on the logo between the programmes. And full weather and graphics after big news. Aha, glad you spotted all of those things. Yes, you see, we listened to what people were telling us, and we took a look at how we did things, including the weather, and we're glad you like how it's appearing now. Now, Steve Brown is a man of few words. He says, good work. Thanks, Steve. And Chris Brown, no relation, says, great logo, guys. Thank you too, Chris. We like it. Now, over on Twitter, Gareth Joy tweeted, looks slicker, shall have to watch the news and decide. And what did he think after the news? Well, he said, puts anorak hat on. Overall, very good. Graphics have much more polish. Nice to see a detailed weather forecast too. Fair enough. Thanks, Gareth, for taking the time to have a look. Hey, there's nothing anoraki about what you say. It's really good to know what you think. Other comments we had. Charlotte Goff says, love it, with a smiley face. Yeah, we like that. WW1WFA Wolvo reckons, better look, looks fresh and modern. Carl Robinson simply says, loving it. Paul the Wall says, loving the new look on Big Centre. And Brummy Gourmand says, loving the new logo. We like that. And Jack the Biscuit, I love that one, says, loving the new rebrand. Hello, Jack the Biscuit, we like that. And of course, the other big news this week, no pun intended, I can hear you laughing from here, Big Centre has now moved to Freeview Channel 7. So a quick reminder that many TVs will retune automatically, but you might just have to manually retune your TV to view us in our new location. Now, if you need any assistance or support, then have a look online at www.freeview.co.uk/support, or even quicker, you can look at the Freeview information channel on 100. Don't worry though, if you don't retune straight away, then you're not going to lose our channel. It's still going to remain accessible on Channel 8 until you retune. And of course, if you're watching on Virgin or online, then we're staying exactly where we are. It's only on Freeview, where we're now on Channel 7. So there you have it. That's what we found in the postbag for this week. And if you'd like to get in touch with us then on social media, we are at Big Centre TV. And of course, you can always email us at the postbag address, which is postbag@bigcentre.tv, or just write to us. And the address for anything at all is Big Centre, 14A, Low Hall Lane, Walsall, WS1 1RL. And that's your Big Magazine for Saturday. Remember, you can catch the Big Magazine on Saturdays at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. and we're back with more tomorrow, Sunday, also at 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. I do hope you can join us then. So from the whole team here, I'll see you later. Ciao a bit.